Flood insurance isn't optional in certain zones. If you're not prepared, it could tank your closing. Flood zones can be confusing, and when a VA loan is involved, the rules get even more specific. I'm Jason Wood, the VA loan guy, and in this video, I'll break down what it means to buy a property in a flood zone and how to keep your deal on track. From flood insurance to appraisals to FEMA maps, we've got you covered, so let's dive in. What is a flood zone and how does it affect VA loans? Flood zones are designations set by FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They determine the likelihood of flooding in a given area. If a home is in a high-risk zone, like Zone A or Zone V, then federal law requires that buyers with federally backed loans, like a VA loan, carry flood insurance. VA loans are absolutely allowed in flood zones, but the lender has to confirm the property has flood insurance in place, and the property must still meet VA appraisal and safety guidelines. So what are the flood insurance requirements? Well, here's the key rule. If your property is in a special flood hazard area, they call it an SFHA, flood insurance is mandatory and it must be in place before closing. Paid for in advance, it's usually 12 months, you pay for the whole year premium, and it must meet the VA minimum coverage standards, equal to the loan balance or replacement cost of the house. This insurance can come from the National Flood Insurance Program, NFIP, or a private insurer. But no insurance, no closing. Some buyers don't realize this until it's too late. Don't be one of them. Want to know if your dream home is in a flood zone? You can check FEMA's flood insurance map online. Just enter the address. If you see Zone A, AE, or VE, you'll likely need insurance. Pro tip though, check this before you even make an offer. That way you can plan ahead or negotiate accordingly. So we had a client who was a veteran and fell in love with this house. It was perfect for them. Then it got flagged for being Zone AE. They scrambled to get flood insurance, closed on time, but barely, because it all happened right at the end. Another buyer of mine thought they could opt out of insurance, not with VA. We had to delay the closing nearly 10 days until the insurance policy was confirmed. So my team will check the FEMA map for you during the pre-approval if you're looking to buy somewhere where there's a high likelihood of flooding. So buying a home in a flood zone is like parking on a hill. You can do it safely, but only if you set the brake. That's your flood insurance. So what are the risks and appraisal and the property considerations you need? Well, flood zones affect more than just insurance. VA appraisers are required to note flood zone status as well, and if the home's elevation is low or there's a history of water damage, it can affect the value. Also, flood insurance premiums can be pricey. That monthly cost has to be included in your debt to income ratio. So even if the home is affordable, the insurance might push your numbers too high. Make sure your lender runs a full analysis early. So if you're buying a home in a flood zone, don't go it alone. We help VA buyers. Check the flood zone status, coordinate the insurance early, make sure the deal stays compliant. Book a free call with us at valoanguy.us or click the link below to schedule an appointment. Flood zones don't have to be deal breakers, but they require extra steps and a little bit of extra time. We're here to walk you through every one of them, but let's make sure your next home is high and dry.